Hello and top of the morning to you. April 4th, 2022. Bright, sunshiny, chilly Monday morning here in Colchester, Vermont. A little dusting of snow came in overnight. A few days late for April Fool's Day, and hoping you weren't proven to be a fool this past Friday. Saw a handful of very good jokes on social media, and every one of them I just shook my head and said April Fools, and just funny to watch the comments go in on usually Instagram with people being like, oh, congratulations, or oh, this is fantastic, oh, this is great news, and thinking, do you not know what day it is? I mean, in this day and age of social media, everyone's talking about everything at any given time, and everyone was warning you that it was April Fool's Day, and yet people still fell for Haley Jane and her wedding that did not occur, and the brewery in California making their White Tuesday instead of their Black Tuesday beer, and Troy Millette and the Fire Below going out and doing Britney Spears' Circus album in its entirety. All great jokes, all April Fools, and on you. Well, welcome to April. Top of the morning, as I said, this Monday morning, and wanted to get this episode out of the way. I already have 10 wonderful songs picked out that I hope you do enjoy. And I hope you had a great weekend, as I did. Had a chance to go to a friend's surprise 50th birthday time up in Bolton. And that was a great time. Got to see some friends, got to get out of the house and experience a little bit more of winter as the snowboarders and skiers were still coming down the hill in Bolton, and had a chance to get out and record another podcast with Rev and Polly V on No Thought Required yesterday with the aforementioned Troy Millette. We'll post that in the show notes. Great time as always, and that was after a wonderful brunch at the Spanked Puppy here in Colchester. Got to see proprietor and friend Ted Tomlinson very quickly. He had his apron on, had to go to work. That's what happens when you own the business. You do a little bit of everything, and it was great to see Ted that quickly. And it was great brunch, great podcast, good rest of the afternoon, and I hope you had a great weekend as well. And I just wanted to get this one behind me. Today is actually 2 months really since I stopped drinking because of this rheumatoid arthritis diagnosis and my medication of methotrexate, which is apparently notoriously hard on the liver. Was told by my rheumatologist to not drink, so I stopped. I stopped entirely. It's 60 days dry as of today. And I've noticed as of late that in my social surroundings, I've had a very hard time with not drinking. That hasn't been a problem. I usually just have a seltzer with a lemon or a lime. It's the social lubrication that I always found alcohol gave me. And whether I was at higher ground like I was Friday or at the 50th birthday party on Saturday night, I usually used, a beer or two to get involved with conversation or the surroundings. And I've noticed as of late, I've had an increasingly difficult time getting involved in those surroundings because of perhaps the sobriety, perhaps it's just mental, but I've always told people that I'm a little bit of a wallflower, a little bit shy in my surroundings when I'm not comfortable, especially in new surroundings where I don't know the people that I'm involved with at a networking event, let's say, where I'll tend to gravitate towards the people that I do know and have an acquaintance with, and I'll socialize with them rather than getting to meet the new people. Well, I told many of people that, and they always laugh at me, but if you've caught me as of late, and Troy actually mentioned it to me yesterday when I had happened to say that I was having a hard time with the social lubrication factor. He did comment that I was a little quieter on Friday night at Higher Ground when he and I went out to see Taylor Ashton in the Showcase Lounge. And I have noticed it a lot myself, and I don't quite know how to break that barrier that I seem to have to myself, but I need to do a better job with that because the not drinking isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I might as well getting used to this awkwardness that I seem to be having. So I don't know if you have any suggestions, but I'd be glad to take them. Drop me a line at ericdlucier@gmail.com, at Twitter, at Facebook, at LinkedIn, or drop me a note through the show, Your Trip is Short Radio @gmail.com, Your Trip is Short Radio, Instagram, Facebook, Trip Short Radio on the Twitter. Be glad to hear your suggestions. And that Again, to use that wonderful term, the aforementioned Taylor Ashton is going to be in today's edition of Your Trip is Short, as well as a handful of new tracks. And I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate my good friend Mel Allen on day one on bringing the Highway to Mel to the morning show on 106.7 WIZN, The Wizard, here in Burlington, Vermont. Day one, bringing the show from night times to the mornings. Congratulations, Mel. It could not happen to a better person and one that works harder. I know it's been a long time coming, and it is extremely well-deserved. And for those of you who haven't heard the story, the Wizard is who made me want to go to school to be a radio DJ. And it was a very late-night visit to the IZN studios when they were downtown on the waterfront with some friends, perhaps under some, let's say, hallucinogens. I've now said that twice here in the last week on the show. Visited Eric the Kid Koval on a late night show with my friends, and he opened the studio doors. We chit-chatted with him for a few minutes, played some songs for us that late night, and we went on our merry way. And I absolutely fell in love with radio and the Wizard at that time. Went to school, to the New England School of Broadcasting, now the New England School of Communications, in 1993 to 1994. Left with my on-air broadcasting certificate, and did radio then, and interned actually at WIZN for Corman the Coach way back when. Did some overnights at 92.9 WEZF before they were starred 92.9, and did about 4 years on St. Michael's College Radio. And I got away from the radio thing because I was sick of playing what somebody else told me to play, so that's why I've kind of stood on the sides and done a little bit of podcasting here and there, and that's why I've really liked this new format with Spotify Premium and Anchor. I'm allowed to play anything I would like. So that's what you're going to be hearing now. But again, congratulations, Mel Allen, the real voice, Mel, and his Highway to Mel morning show on The Wizard. It's day one on April 4th. Very proud of you, buddy. Look forward to tuning in to hear where the show goes. And with that, I'll send you upon your merry way. It's April 4th, 2022. I'm your host, Eric Lucier. It's episode number 75. Always remember, your trip is short.